Welcome to the PrisonerPainter Podcast, stories of inspiration, where we talk about mental health, addiction, religion, becoming a business owner and self-sufficient, for what, when, where, and why. Join us and we can be your local hope dealer.
Inspiration and dedication. I came a long way from sleeping in them pages. I got my life back. I feel amazing. Life's a book, don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work leads to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned in to the prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter.
And now, a word from your local hope dealer.
Welcome to the PrisonerPainter Podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott, and today joining us is owner of Jackson Embroidery.
Yo, what's good?
How's it going, man?
It's all right.
That's good, man. So, I'm excited that, thank you for coming on. It's been a long time coming. I know we've been planning it, and I flake or whatever's been happening. So, but I'm glad we finally got you on.
Man, I appreciate it for being here, for sure.
Yeah, dude. So here, my man, I'm just going to move it a little closer, but you're good. Here, we started childhood and worked to where you are now. I think, like, hearing your story from where you started makes it even cooler what you I guess accomplished. So
Right, for sure.
Period. Awesome, dude. So my first question: what was your family dynamic like growing up?
Bullshit. And that's just the gist of it, you know what I mean? So I'm an adopted child, you know what I mean? I grew up, I guess I want to say, where anything that could have went wrong.
Yeah.
You feel me? From just not understanding me or getting to learn me as a child, as a person. I come from my biological family.
Yeah.
So entering a new family, it was just a lot of learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just this type of child, this personality, this even the background, you know, so even the history. So it's just like that's pretty much what it was. You know what I mean? And I felt like I wasn't treated with the love and the respect that I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
As a child, to help me, you know what I mean, to do things that I'm doing now. So
Yeah. No, dude, for sure. I feel that I was raised in a different situation, but I definitely was not shown entrepreneurship like in stuff that I see you doing now. Like I also wasn't taught stuff like that.
That was all me.
Yeah.
You know, the entrepreneur was pretty much all me.
Beautiful.
You know, so what I learned was gangbanging. I never was really into selling drugs, but gangbanging, robbing, having guns, stealing. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I was taught to fight. You know, I wasn't taught how to control my anger. Yeah. I wasn't taught the things that actually help you grow in life. Yeah. You know, actually that's beneficial to the community. I wasn't taught them type of things.
Yes, sir.
You know, but what I did learn, and it was just on my own, I look at people outside the family. Those are my motivationals and stuff like that. You feel me? People outside the family, even though they were drug dealers and stuff like that, but the things that they brung, like block parties, shoes, you know what I mean, book bag parties, stuff like that was that was dope. You know what I mean? Because things that they brought, I wanted to do that. You know what I mean? But the thing that was in my household, in my heart, I didn't want to do what people in my household taught me. I think I was manipulated to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Man, that's hard from a young age. I can only imagine. Were you born and raised here in Jackson?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm on here 6 years. You know what I mean?
All right.
But I was born in Chicago.
Right.
So the thing is, I'm from everywhere. I'm from the United States, to be honest. You know what I mean? But I was born in Chicago. I left Chicago about 7 to my adopted family. From 7 to about 17, I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
From Milwaukee, I got out of prison in Milwaukee, and I went to Texas, Dallas, Texas. So that's pretty much my makeup. You know, that's what built me. That's what made me. In Texas was really I jumped off the porch in Milwaukee, but in Texas I had the courage and I had to be my own man in Texas. So that's pretty much how it was.
Gotcha. Who was the most influential person in your life growing up? Did you gravitate to somebody to learn from?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. I had a stepdad, and he was an alcoholic. Gotcha. He was a drunk, you know what I mean? And we went over his house most days. You know, my brother and my sister. That's actually their dad.
Gotcha.
I was just the third wing, something like that. You know what I mean? So it was like, hey, man, I have to bring him too. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he loved me. You know, I do believe he loved me. And he wasn't nobody that I could actually learn from or anybody I wanted to be like.
I got you.
But he actually wanted to have a lot of block parties. Okay. You know, and I seen a lot of stuff and I was like, okay, you know what I mean? It's cool. But man, to say influential, it's kind of hard. You know what I mean? Because I was this street guy, but at the same time, I wanted to have my own identity, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It was nothing. I was the guy outside the box. I always think outside the box, have my own thing on my own dress style, my own, you know, swag. I always and people actually gravitated to me. I was an excellent fighter. You know what I mean? It was like so much things that people just gravitated to me. I want to be like him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even dressing. When it comes to dressing, I have my own style. I never dressed like nobody else. Gotcha. You know? So I was always painting and drawing on my clothes and wearing them inside out, like crisscross down. You know what? Thinking about it, maybe the music. Right on. You know what I mean? Like, that was my influential people, the people that I wanted to be like, the people that was in the music. I wanted to rap, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I wanted to dress like them. So maybe it was, if I was to say anything, it was the artists that I seen on BET and MTV Cribs late night. You know, it was stuff like that. You know, it wasn't nobody actually whispering in my ear. You feel me? Like, or showing me something that I wanted to be like.
Dude, this is one of my favorite things. I know we've become friends over the past couple months, and it's cool to me because like I will know more about you after today than a lot of friends do. So I'm super excited.
Right.
Yeah, dude. No, awesome. Where was I going? Oh yeah. What was your favorite cereal when you were a kid?
My favorite cereal, probably Captain Jack's.
Okay.
Yeah, Captain Jack's peanut butter. The plain Captain Jack's. I think Captain Jack's. Yeah, for sure it was.
Okay.
You know? Bet. I like Reese's. You know. On. So anything with that peanut butter and that peanut butter jelly type flavor, you know what I mean? That was my to go to for sure.
Right on, dude. Mine was always Fruity Pebbles, like always. So
them the more common brands, you know what I mean? But I'm a Captain Jack fan, you know what I mean? Blueberry, Captain Jack Blueberry. Yep. You know what I mean? So that was the for real go to. You know what I mean? That I liked it. Yeah, but I got out of that phase.
Gotcha. So 7 years old. If I can ask, what was the reason for you getting adopted at 7 and moving out to Wisconsin?
So I don't know the full story. I'm still I asked family members, you know, biological family. I asked my adopted family, and everybody got their own thing. So I guess to sum it up, it's just like that. So to me, my mom was following a guy. You know what I mean? She was somehow she got into her addiction. I don't know how. I heard so many stories. That's for another subject.
Yeah, when I get to it.
I heard so many stories about that. And then she moved to Wisconsin, which, from what I hear, is my people in Chicago was like, no, you ain't gonna take our baby. That's our first grandchild. Yeah, you know. My grandma had a fight with my mom. Okay. You know what I mean? But eventually I moved to Wisconsin. Okay. And I end up moving with my mom, and my mom was on drugs. And my mom left me at these people's house, and something happened, you know what I mean, where they had the right to adopt me.
Okay.
They had the right to adopt me, my brother, and my sister.
Gotcha.
And because my brother and my sister was their biological family, they said, hey, we ain't gonna leave him out, we're gonna adopt him.
That's
too.
nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, it is. No, for sure. You know, so, and that's how I became adopted to my family dad in Milwaukee.
I can speak about addiction, because I've ruined so many relationships and I've ruined my whole fucking life because of my addiction. So I say that before I ask the question, did you and your mom ever get to reconnect after that?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, bet. Okay, awesome. Bet.
Yeah,
awesome.
You know, that's my OG. That's my dog. You know what I mean? That's my friend, my mother, you know what I mean, first. And, you know, we went through our struggle. You know what I mean? Like when we reconnected, we went through our struggle. I seen her in ways you would never want to see your mom. You know what I mean? And I didn't understand it. And I had resentment. I had it was never hatred. I guess it was some form of it. Why? You know what I mean?
Like a burning type feeling.
Yeah,
I get
you know what I mean? So it was that type of thing. But at the end of the day, I think the thing of it is that today we grown. I got my kids. You know what I mean? I see how the things I went through with my baby mother, child of my kids. And I just understand life and things in general now.
It's not as easy as some people portray. Like it's not black and white.
You know what I mean? So that help us. You know, man, my mom is dope as hell right now. You feel me? You wouldn't tell that we went through anything. You know what I mean? And she's sober. You feel me? We've been sober for some years now. You know, and she got her life together. And shit, you can tell nothing. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's how it should be. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. No, I was hoping that was what you said. I know, for sure.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, I led with that because you know, we've interviewed some people and similar story, but I won't say the same, but, you know, hard time with mom or dad growing up with addiction. And it's like, then they get older, they realize what addiction actually is. And it's like, they came to forgive.
It's a disease. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's, you know, once you get on it, and so before my mom, you know what I mean? Like when I didn't know her at this time, you feel me? I've been on blocks. I never like really actually pursued selling drugs, but all my friends did. Yeah. You feel me? People I knew did. Yeah. And, you know, it's just, I seen them people, you know what I mean? I seen people bringing PlayStations, and, you know, they started from their kids, TVs, shoes, and, you know, school uniforms. I seen that. So I always got a conscience. You know, I was the guy. I always had it, even though I had anger issues, violence, but that was amongst these certain groups and things. But when it came to the community and like selling drugs and all that stuff, I had a conscience. I knew people was up here selling whatever they got to get what they need to get. You know what I mean? So I had a conscience against that. I was like, man, no, you know what I mean? So I guess that's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not gonna help them kill themselves. No,
you don't want that for the community. That's what people. So my thing, right? Even like today, you know what I mean? I know people that do what they do, and it's no judgment, but I can't be around you. And the reason why is because y'all don't have the morals that people had back in the day. So you got people that smoke weed, you got people that do all the other hard drugs, drink liquor. So back then they had morals. They threw block parties. They gave out shoes. They gave out book bag parties. They kept the community clean. You know what I mean? Like you didn't, you know, so today it's heartless. You know what I mean? You got mothers and fathers selling and doing what they're doing to get their necks fixed, and then you getting your money, and then they lights cut off. Their kids getting taken, and you like, shit, it ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? That's selfish. If you going like the government, you know what I mean? If you going do something, you have to give something back. Period. So like the mafia, right? Mm-hmm. The mafia did stuff, took money from the community, but guess what? When a mother or somebody came up, it was like, damn, my house, the lights out, they paid it. They made sure the lights was paid. They made sure things was taken care of. Yep. You know what I mean? And that way you could do probably the most heinous stuff, and then your community be like, we ain't see nothing. Yep.
Exactly.
We ain't seen nothing because you took care of your community. You weren't just taken from you, actually put back in with the things you did. Yep. And so, you know, I think that's like it's not a such thing a war on drugs, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a thing where you can't beat them, you might as well join them. Yeah. So the thing is, we ain't gonna beat the solution. We ain't gonna find a solution. We ain't gonna beat the problem. Yep. But if y'all gonna be out here doing this, make sure y'all take care of this community. Period. You feel me? Yep. And that's what people nowadays fail to realize. You know, and that's why it's more conviction rates and more, because don't nobody care. Hey, y'all did all this or whatever, everybody gonna turn you in. You a scumbag. Yep. You feel me? You're a scumbag. You know what I mean? Nothing. Even the addict you selling gonna turn you in. Yeah. They don't care. You feel me? Doing 6 months, they gonna turn you in because you're a scumbag. Dope dealer. Yeah. Find another dope dealer. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what people just don't understand right now. You feel me? Like, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, 100%. Like Denzel Washington in American Gangsters, like, dude, they gave out turkeys, like, you know what I mean? Like they took care of it, and that's how old boy shot dude in the middle of the street, and everybody's like, I didn't see it.
We ain't see nothing. Even a Scarface when he ran out the house and shot dude in the middle of the street, they didn't see nothing because they took care of their communities, and that's a stand-up guy. Yep. So money, the root to all evil. I guess they want to say, but we all got ends to meet. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know what I mean? The government selling drugs, but they only selling it through doctors and prescriptions and all this extra stuff. We or they trying to do it, you know what I mean? It's the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I like that. The government knew that. Yep. If we properly prepare this, we will prevent a poor performance. Yep. We people in the streets that's acting under these type of things, they don't implicate that. You feel me? They're not a part of it. They greedy. You know what I mean? They not understanding. All it takes is to clean up the streets. If you clean up the streets, taking needles off the. So I was married, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know that right now.
I was married at 21.
Okay,
yeah, to 26, and I went to prison. Gotcha. But so I used to take my stepkids out. We used to clean up the alley. We used to just do stuff. You know what I mean? And right now they still call me. Right now they still say they love me. Right now, you know what I mean? We still got a dope relationship. They want to learn about the clothing business and all that, you know, because I actually took them out and did stuff.
You left a lasting impression on them, is what it sounds like.
You know what I mean? Yep. And it ain't that it's less because it's still there. You feel me? They call me freewheeling. You know what I mean? Hey, help us. You know, we need this. We're trying to make clothes. We're gonna send y'all a logo. Nice. You know, and I'm trying to communicate with them and actually get them here and start a class and teach them. But the main thing was me taking them out and doing stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Going out, and it ain't stuff that's like money wise. It's just like principle type thing. Sure. Hey, the block, it's messed up. Y'all been out here partying every day, all day. You know what I mean? We've been out shooting ball, eating chips. Drinking soda, throwing the bottles outside, throwing the cans out. Let's get out here and clean it up. You know what I mean? So we did that, you know. Nice. And the neighbor and the people on our block, we have a little bitty block in Chicago. It was like a dead end. They loved it. The older people loved that. You know what I mean? So.
Well, that's a good way to get your neighbors to like you. I'm serious for sure. Good neighbors to like you.
Yeah, you know. So hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, and people give you a lot more leeway to act a fool if you clean up after yourself. Dude, like I've had neighbors, they don't care. I party till 4 a.m. I clean my stuff up and my house isn't like.
It ain't the wind, they blow it on a lawn. Exactly. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about it. Yep. Maybe the noise, you got to be respectful about the noise everywhere. Yep. So, and like I said, we was on a dead end block. So it was like the neighbors, they was from back in the day, man. They was super cool.
Gotcha.
And they actually looked at me and my wife as them.
Awesome.
They used to tell me like all the time, like, we was just like y'all growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I used to feel good about that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because I'm like, damn, they've been together 40 years.
Yeah.
Like, you know? So I had that. I got that type of mindset.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You said 7 to 21 you lived in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick to touch on your schooling, did you have a favorite subject and did you have a favorite teacher?
Nope. So I was somewhere everywhere.
Okay.
You know what I mean? School wasn't for me. You know, and in school, so it's funny, right? Because in school I had a learning disability. I was literally in a learning class, LD class.
Okay.
I had a learning disability. But now that I'm older, I didn't have a learning disability. They just labeled me that.
And stuck you in something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they didn't know how to teach. School don't know how to teach you. You got 28 kids, one teacher.
Yep.
Certain people need that one-on-one attention.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I didn't get that one-on-one attention because, like I said, it's 28 kids in the class.
Yep.
So I just got bored with it.
I get
You
it.
know what I mean? It was like, you know, so I didn't learn how to read probably till I was like 18 to officially, you know, at 18, I remember being locked up for, I was locked up for like a breaking and entering or something like that, and a domestic, not a domestic, but a aggravated battery.
Okay.
So I remember being locked up, and my caseworker came to see me while I was locked up, and they did the whole study of reading level, math level.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, you had a 6th grade math level and you had a 3rd grade reading level, and they was like, you know, that's a problem. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. So I guess my doctor people was getting a check from me, you know, the whole time.
Okay.
And they were like, do you feel like you can be on your own? I was like, yes, I can.
Yeah.
You feel me? You know, because what y'all saying, I don't feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's not me. You feel me?
I get it.
When I was walking through the class in school, I had to walk with the people. I had a girl, I pushed her wheelchair because I was in an LD class. I pushed her wheelchair. People in the LD class are my friends. People outside the LD class make jokes of us. I beat them up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
and then I get police to take me home, and my grandma, she always like, you know what? They keep making fun of him because he in an LD class. Then when he whoop their ass, they want to be best friends.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's slow, but he not slow. You know what I mean? And that just come from teaching a person. People don't know how to teach people. Teachers don't know how to be teachers.
I agree.
And, you know, maybe in a math class, but some people just need that one-on-one attention.
Dude,
You know
out
what
of
I mean?
28 students, there's 28 different learning styles. Period.
Facts.
Period. You know what I mean?
People don't understand that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And now it's even worse.
Yeah.
They can close so many schools. Now y'all cramping all these people together. And, you know, one of my stepsons, you know, he went in a special class, but they wanted to put him in one because they like, you know, no. Y'all done closed all these schools down in Chicago. Now guess what? They all gotta be in here. That's not of course we got different personalities. Yeah. We got different levels of anger and levels of learning.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where America fell us at. You know, is in school, you know, so a lot of things will be prevented if we taught in a proper way, you know, in a proper manner. So, yeah.
Dude, I agree 100%. Same thing, you know, I needed reading or learning accommodations. I needed all these things. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, no, I needed somebody to care a little bit. Like, they're like, you can't sit still, get them out of here, put them in a different class.
And then guess what? Then now they want to label you. They want to label you.
Yep.
ADHD.
Yep.
Well, label me that. Let me get that free check and label me that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But at home, I'm learning. I read everything. When I'm at home, even right now, like my reading level probably ain't the best. You know what I mean? I could read every product book. You know what I mean? I could read. Mm-hmm. I could read with understanding.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I taught myself that. Yep. You know what I mean? And I taught myself that because, you know, it was just I wanted to adventure in other things, and I needed to understand things. And now I'm able to do that on my own. You feel me? And I learned that. Not just recently, but probably like 10, 15 years ago, I learned that, hey, that is where the school system messed up at.
Dude, and I'm glad you said that because I can read. I can't read with a lot of understanding. I'm going to be 100% honest. I can read probably words that people cannot pronounce, but I don't have an understanding. Like I have to read the same page 5 times to get the understanding.
That's cool, because the definition of reading is not just knowing the words. It's reading with understanding and comprehension.
Yep.
So if you could read a sentence, a paragraph, and you could comprehend and understand it, that's a lot. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
now you can articulate it in the way that it needs to be presented. You feel me? Yeah. And so that was my thing. You feel me? Mm-hmm. What this mean? What that mean? What that mean? Yeah. In American language is so fucking crazy right now. I'm like, oh my God! I still have problems with typing in because some words mean 5 different words. So it's still that burial. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And at this point, I don't even care about that burial because the lingo and things have came to where we understand. If you read them with understanding, you can know where is 2 different words, but you finish the paragraph out, you can get the concept of what they're saying. Yeah. So,
dude, spelling, I know people have time and money with it, but look, I don't care how you spell where. I understand the meaning where it is or what. Like I can read it in context. I understand, but like, man, I get that.
Yeah. So that's just, and America make it like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then words are spells. You know what I mean? So it's you really gotta understand the author of the paragraph that you're reading. So I think once we get that figured out, then we'll progress to the next level.
I agree. Right.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 40.
Are you serious? Okay, well, hey, look at dude. I thought you were like 30.
How old you getting? 30?
30? No, I was like 30. Honestly, my age. I'm 28. I'm like, I thought you 28. I was like, I thought you were 30. 31, dude. I swear. Okay.
I'm 40 years old.
Man, okay, right now.
Around a few blocks.
Yeah, dude. Well, I was like, 21 and 25. You said you went to prison. I was like, okay, so you must be like 29. Like, seriously, like that's.
I went to prison at 27.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Well, right on, man. So you get out of school. What's your first job? And when's the first time you got locked up?
Oh, my first job was Subway.
Right on. Okay.
My first job was at Subway at like 17.
Right on.
My first time being locked up was like 18.
Okay.
So it's funny because it go back to the reading and me being in special ed and all that. Mm-hmm. And like I said, anger issue, you know what I mean? But I am the protector of my friends, my family. I was a protector. You're not finna talk about my friend. I'm gonna beat you up. You know what I mean? So I was literally that guy. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man, because I remember like 9th grade or 10th grade. I was in an alternative school, and it was this guy he was a pretty boy. Mm-hmm. He always had the nice clothes. He had the 2-way pager when he came out, the throwback jerseys. Okay. And they used to bully him, and they used to take his stuff at the bus. Damn. And it wasn't my business, you know what I mean? But I just peeped the type of guy he is. He's not that type of guy that's going to stand up for himself. Yeah. And I'm a popular guy, too. I was always the popular guy, So I remember some girls talking about him. And I was like, who did that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell them meet me after school. Yeah. You know what I mean? Type of thing like that. And he like, what? You feeling, so we met after school or whatever. And me and the guy, he didn't even go to the school. We had a fight. I had a job interview. Okay. My first job was Ponderosa Steakhouse. Okay. I got that back.
Okay, right on.
Stella Love in Milwaukee on 3rd and Clark. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 3rd and Clark. It was an old Ponderosa Steakhouse. Right on. It was just freshly built. And I was like, I want to, tell him to meet me after school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody in their phone, they got him. Well, I don't think it was phone back then. It was 2X or something.
Gotcha.
But they got him to come to the school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Came to the school. Me and him had a fight after the school. When school was over, we had a fight. And then I remember I had a job interview. Like in the midst of the fight, I remember I had a job interview. So we fought, you know, I mean, the security broke it up, and I just took off running. You know, I jumped on a bus.
Going to the job interview.
Literally, like facts. You know what I mean? I jumped on a bus. I made it to my crib. My grandma called me. Cause she heard about the fight. Yeah. She called me. She says, "Is your face messed up?" I was like, "No, I'm good." She's like, "All right, go home, change your shirt. Get back up there to the job interview."
Yeah.
I did that, changed my shirt. I got up to the school is at my job interview.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was so dope. They called me L in school, like L, because my first name is Leonard.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Man, what up, L?" You know what I mean? They shaking hands and, you know, so the reading habit, the lady at the bank, because we had the job interview at the bank.
Okay.
Because the store wasn't fully open. So we had the job interview at the bank.
Okay.
And the lady that was at the bank, she read my application. She said, "Baby, I'm going to do this over for you." You know what I mean? She filtered out the way. She said, "You're going to get the job."
Nice.
I know Stella, you know what I mean? You're going to get the job.
Nice.
Whatever. So I got the job. You know what I mean? Well, I didn't know at that time. Went home. Day went by like regular. And then I got a call. I had the job. I went there. You know, I wasn't there long due to them. It wasn't, you know, I'm a stand-up guy and I take responsibility. But things happen. Yeah. But I got the job. You feel me? Yeah. And that's how it happened. And that was like, I thought that was dope. Like, shit.
Heck yeah.
I got the Ponderosa Steakhouse, you know what I mean? I'm bringing all the leftovers from work. I'm taking them home.
Hell yeah.
Y'all gonna throw that away? No, y'all not.
No, you ain't.
You know what I mean? So that was dope. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, good stuff. So you get locked up at 18, first time. How long do you do?
I did 18 months.
18 months. Okay. Okay. So did you go to the joint or?
So we got a place called House of Corrections.
Okay.
And the House of Correction is in Franklin, Wisconsin.
Okay.
So it's like a step before you get to the joint.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was at that border. I couldn't do county time, but
that's what I was
so
more
much.
asking.
It was more violent, so I need to go to the next level. And I was still young, you know what I mean? So they sent me to the House of Corrections.
Okay.
And you know, it was cool.
All right.
You know, it wasn't. I'm easily to adapt to the situation and the environment that I'm in. So it was smooth cakes. It was everything I expected. Fights, you know what I mean? Just different hoods and different things going on. So I had to hold my own ground. Yeah. And luckily for me, majority of people in there knew me. You know what I mean? From my neighborhood, from other. They're like, "Oh, look, East Side. He gonna go. You ain't gonna fuck with him. He gonna go." You know what I mean? And that's how it was. Okay. So.
And then when was the last time? Well, the big stretch of prison. You said you went in at 21 until 27.
No.
I got that messed up. Okay.
At that time, my first bid was like 18 to 17 to probably like, it was 18 months, so it was 17 to 18, 19,
gotcha.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my big stretch was 27.
Okay.
And 6 years after that, 33.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That was my big stretch.
Okay, so between the first stretch and then that stretch, what does life look like?
Married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in Chicago. I'm married. I got married with my ex-wife within 4 months of knowing her.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I got out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I moved to Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
So I moved to Dallas, Texas. I stayed about 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I got my two boys, Lil Nate and Keyshawn.
Awesome.
I was, I guess they felt like I brung a different energy. Like I said, I was violent, robbing, you know what I mean, gang member. Yep. I brung a different energy to the people I was with in Dallas. Yep. You know, and they were like, "Hey, we can't, you know, my kids them toting guns, they gang banging, we can't, you know, you ain't bringing, there ain't no real money coming in." Yep. to help pay bills and stuff. So I felt some type of way, and I called my people back in Milwaukee, and they were like, yeah, you know. So I get back to Milwaukee, and then they like, we moving to Michigan. I'm like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? I'm calling my people in Chicago. Call my people in Chicago. Hey, come back. You know what I mean? We've been missing you. You feel me? You've been gone since you was 7.
Yeah, no kidding.
And now I'm coming back a grown man. And I was staying with my auntie. Everything was good. You know what I mean? I love my auntie. It's just that I was tired of living with people. You know what I mean? I was like, I like it. It's cool. You know what I mean? I learned so much about money, about business. My auntie had a hair salon.
Okay, right on.
Other people had businesses in the family. And I was like, damn, but I still wanted to be on my own. And so I met a girl, my ex-wife. We got to rocking, we got to loving each other.
Good stuff.
I was doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing, but I had a lot of money. And I was like, hey, let's get a house together. We got a house. I was like, hey, let's get married. And we got married. You know? So, and that's pretty what it was. It was me hustling, things I ain't had no business doing. It was me taking care of my family. My extended family. So that's pretty much how it was.
Right on. Dude, look, I respect it, period. I respect it, period. Like
right.
Awesome, dude.
You got, like anybody, so when it come like that, you have to. You feel me? When it come in the way, so I'm not gonna say that like my back was against the wall type of thing. I just wanted better. And I was the type to gonna get it at any means. You know what I mean? Whether it was legit or not legit, I don't turn down a job. You know, a 9 to 5, I do not turn my collar down. I'm willing to go out there and work. You know what I mean? And do what I gotta do. You feel me? But at that time, the money was so fast and easy. And then, like I said, I never sold drugs. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's hard to say no. Like I found myself in that trap of quick money, easy money. Yes, the repercussions almost aren't worth it, but it's like when you're like, well, it's kind of hard to say, I don't want it.
You know what I mean? And she ain't finna say she don't want it. You know what I mean? So, it's and it got to a point where she didn't want it. And, and I was still childish in the mind. You feel me? I'm like, well, shit. You like Gucci, Ferragamo. You like the furniture changed every year. You like things that I like. You like the big TVs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The kids good, everything going on. So why should I, and that's what was our conflict, man, our conflict. She's like, I ain't trying to lose you to jail. I'm like, I'm not making as much as, and now it's a money thing. I feel like it was a money thing as where, you could be making, as a guy, you could be making $100,000 a year, and she could be making $60,000 a year. That's $160,000 two people making a year. But the moment you drop from doing that, and now she making more, for some reason, it's a dominance thing have just instantly changed. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with me. I got at the time between 21 and 27. I got locked up again for 9 months.
Gotcha.
And it was due to what I was doing in the streets. And I got out, and she explained to me she didn't want me doing that no more. She wanted me to get a job. But I got a job. And I was like content with the job. But then things, our living expenses, our lifestyle is still the same.
Outweighed the money coming out, get it.
So, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'd rather go back. And I would have stayed content, but the pressure was on me. She probably won't admit it to this day. We still best friends. We talk and we go, we just go over everything. But to me, she forced me mentally to go back to what I was doing.
I get it.
You feel me?
I do.
And it was like the argument is, well, you just mad I'm making more money than you. And I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
good. I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the lifestyle, it's not the same lifestyle. You know what I mean? So after that, I remember that argument. And after that argument, we got into a big fight, and we just, she was like, well, her brother's in real estate, and he wanted to give us a big house in Country Club Hill, and we needed 2 sources of income.
Yep.
I was like, well, I can make check stubs, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We gonna get in there.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to do my brother like that. I want to have real jobs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I got a job. I want you with a real job. I'm like, well, damn.
Yeah.
You just complaining about me working a real job.
Yeah.
Now is this situation. So she made the option where it's either that or nothing.
Gotcha.
And I was like, well, I choose nothing. Because I'd rather get back out there and doing, and you know what I'm doing. When I choose that. But I understand I was childish too. You feel me?
I do.
And I understand that she was protecting me and protecting the family, And I wish, you know what I mean, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
I get you.
Feel me? So,
So 27. It sounds like you go back to prison for a stretch, right?
yeah, I did 6 years.
Okay. Can I ask what it was for, or would you prefer not to answer?
I'm not gonna get deep into it because it's a little personal,
No,
but I would say it's for attempted murder.
Okay.
And the basics of it is that so my mom moved from Texas with me and my wife.
Okay.
I called my mom like, hey, things going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
You should come here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She had her addiction at the time.
Gotcha.
So, I'm married. You come stay with us till you get on your feet or whatever. My mom came and she pretty much got on her feet. I knew the landlord on the block. I moved her next door.
Nice.
But at this time, she like clean. You know what I mean? Like 5 years passed, she clean.
Awesome.
So she started dealing with the same type of guys that got her to where she was at, you know what I mean? And with women, that's 9 times out of 10 how they get to their addiction. It be the guys.
Yep.
And I remember one time somebody was like, hey, your mom messing with Dave. I'm like, no, she not.
Yeah.
My mom ain't messing with Dave. Hell no. Because I know Dave, he on heroin and crack. He double-breasted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my mom ain't fucking with him.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
So I put up on Dave. And he was like, I was like, hey man, listen, let me tell you, I don't care what you do,
Mm-hmm.
you don't do that around that lady.
Period.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So pretty much, you know what I mean, he basically said, fuck you and what you got going on, you know what I mean? So a couple of weeks go past or whatever, I go to my mom's crib, I see Dave in there, her and him and her getting high again. I just blinked out.
I get it.
And things happen, you feel me? So, and it was what it was, you know what I mean? So, it went from attempted murder to aggravated battery with aggravated domestic battery with a deadly weapon. You feel me? So, and
I feel like you deserve an award more than going to prison.
yeah, for sure.
Seriously.
Yeah. And that was the reason why they dropped it. I was facing my cop-out was 30 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once they gave the jury the instructions on how things is, the jury found it in my favor to give me a lesser sentence.
Good stuff.
I had to take something.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite take self-defense, but I had to take something because something happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they gave me a lesser charge. It was at 7 years. I had to do 5 and some change.
Okay.
Fucking up in jail.
Don't help.
Got my time taken away.
Yep.
But I'm a year out to be released. And I'm like, I want to get my shit together. I want to act straight.
Yep.
They're like, well, still got a year. You ain't got enough time in to get time back. So I was like, fuck it. I maxed out at 6.
Yeah. I mean, really, yeah.
No, for sure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
okay.
And like I said, you know what I mean? The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
For people that maybe see this one day or whatever, the proof is in the pudding that if I was that type of guy, me and my mom, one, wouldn't have the relationship we have.
Yeah.
2, I'd still be in there.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Period. Dude, right on. Seriously?
No, facts.
Right on, dude. I mean, fuck. Man, like I said, I think you deserve a medal, but that's besides the point. So it sounds like 33 roughly. You get out. You're 40 now. Now's the time that we got probably about 15 more minutes. I really want to hear. When did you decide Jackson Embroidery? What the heck made
I
you decide?
Jackson Embroidery when I was in prison.
Okay, right on.
Before I was in prison, I did music my whole life.
Right.
So I always was an artist. I did music. Bam. I get out while I'm in there. I meet some Mexicans. I was just a talented guy, you know what I mean? They went against the grain. They started messing with me because they're like, hey, bro, you got opportunity when you get out here.
Yep.
Stick with your music and stick with your drawings on clothes. Mm-hmm. And one of my Mexican guys named Sailor, you know, shout out to Sailor in California right now. He was locked up in Chicago with me. He said, hey, bro, I'm going to help you.
Awesome.
Let me know your ideas and what you're trying to do, and I'm going to put that on paper for you. I'm going to draw it out for you. Okay. And then from that point on, I stuck with him.
Right on.
You know what I mean? And in prison, you know, it's either blacks with blacks, white with white, and so on. He left his brothers to be with me at the table and help me work on my craft and all that. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. You know, we came up with a package. We came up with some ideas and stuff, and I stuck to it. I came home. Bam, I'm out. I called my people in Michigan, say, hey, I need somewhere to parole to. They're like, same adopted family I grew up with. Okay. They're like, all right, yeah, come out here. They thought I was on something else, you know, back into my old ways. Yeah. That's what they was expecting, me to be back into that money, that old ways, I'm getting money and stuff like that. Yep. I came out with a different mind plan. Awesome. And I was out 2 months, seeing my parole officer. I instantly started going to work. You know, man, I was working every day. I was working and sleeping. You know,
I know that feeling, brother.
You know, I've been home 6 months. I worked and sleeping. My auntie gave me $1,000. I bought some clothes from probably spent like $200-300 on myself. Nice. I bought my kids them probably like $600-700 of the rest. Yep. Sent that to them to like show that, you know, because I kind of felt guilty.
Because that's a man, though. That's a man. I mean, seriously, awesome.
I got back touching with my ex-wife. She like, I kind of moved on, but you know, it is, we friends, you know. Understood. And we kept it at that. And then I started just wanting to implicate what I'm doing, what my vision in there. I said 6 years. I wasn't 6 years in there just on bullshit. I was 6 years in there on creating this vision and manifesting this lifestyle. Okay. And I got out, you know what I mean? And I actually put that into play. I worked a job, you know what I mean? I bought a used machine. And then some more money came through. I bought a bigger machine. Yep. And I bought a bigger machine. And then the opportunities of renting this place, I was in a basement for a long time. Yep. And the opportunity of renting out storefronts and stuff like that came along. Awesome. And I jumped on it, you know what I mean? So, because I'm very much so an opportunist. People look at opportunities like people like, you're an opportunist. I'll be like, you damn right. Okay. You feel me? But a lot of people look at opportunists as something bad. Opportunists, it ain't never nothing bad.
You know when to seize it. Like that's a skill to me. That's a skill.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So the opportunity came, it presented itself, you know what I mean? Even some investment opportunities. And I jumped on them. You know what I mean? Maybe through the investor, they had an ulterior motive, but I was just seeking an opportunity to get to the next level with succeeding this business. You know what I mean? So, and that's just how it is. You feel me? And that's why you got Jackson Embroidery today, because I took the opportunity when it presented itself. I don't hesitate. I'm not finna hesitate. You know what I mean? And I think that's why God keep blessing me in ways. I just got another opportunity. Literally, like the last 3 days, I've been on a business phone call with 3-4 other businesses. You know what I mean? And they took the opportunity to call me and did all that, and I reciprocated. Fuck yeah, we this is what we doing. This is what y'all saying. This is what we doing it. You know what I mean? And that's just how things go. You feel me? So
before I ask my wrap-up questions, what do you offer? What can people come to you for? Plug yourself in.
So Jackson Embroidery is a manufacturer. Okay. You know what I mean? People that work in the business got their own brands that they try to push, but we solely is a manufacturer company. Okay. So what we offer is DTG. You don't know what that means. That means direct to film. Okay. You could come and get a roll of film from us and print it on your own garment. Okay. We offer DTG, which is DTF. My bad, I'm sorry. DTF is direct to film.
Gotcha.
So, bam, you get a roll from us and you print it on your own garment. Or we offer DTG, which is direct to garment.
Okay.
And then you can actually come in with a shirt and we print directly to the garment, to the shirt, to the hat, whatever you need done. We offer embroidery. We do embroidery socks, embroidery hats, polos, shirts, anything, car seat covers, steering wheel covers, anything you pretty much see in the major industry, we offer that, from everything, to be honest, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and while we're talking about it right now, he has done all of my shirts, and I just seen that he did ARE's 25th anniversary shirts.
Yeah.
So companies are trusting you, which they would have no reason.
We did Porsche, Porsche of Ann Arbor.
Cool.
We did a few factories out here. We do right now. I got individuals from MDOC that come to me.
Cool.
I'm trying to figure out why MDOC don't have their own business they go to. They send people that's ranking up in the office to us, and I do their stuff too. So that I thought that was dope.
Yeah, that's cool.
I went from being in there to getting money from. I was compensating money. Now I get it back. But no, that's for real though. You know what I mean? That's the testimony. Yep. But so anything you could think of, uniform, baseball uniforms, hats, even something that you want. We actually got artists, graffiti, whatever you think of. We got people that will help you create your brand, even from starting your LLC. If you don't know how to start an LLC, we got people that help you start an LLC, create your brand, your vision, your website, and help you go from there.
Awesome. What's next? What does Jackson Embroidery look like in 2 years?
Jackson Embroidery looking like in 2 years is something major. I'm looking at a building down on Michigan. Y'all always call it the Ghost Building for some reason.
Okay.
It's like on East Michigan. It's a big factory. Like it's next to Lettuce.
Oh yeah. Where that building? Yeah, I know exactly where.
I don't know what it is. Used to be. I think it used to be a factory or something.
Yeah. Now they have an antique store in the basement.
I just locked in with, like I say, like some other people outside of Jackson and Milwaukee and Racine, Wisconsin, and they talking big numbers. You know what I mean? And it's something that's it's going to be understandable for me. You know what I mean? So I think I know what we're looking for is something major. To bring employment to Jackson. You know what I mean? That's bring employment. To bring a conference space, to bring classes, and just to give back in that type of way, So that's pretty much like.
That's why I respect you so much, dude. I know Hakeem got us connected, man. Because the whole prisoner to painter thing, I was in trouble. Now I'm not. Got my life back. Same thing with you. Got in trouble. Now you're,
bro.
Man.
And it's the same thing everywhere, So the thing about everything is, bro, we all are creators of God, and we all are creators. You know what I mean? So if you ain't taking your struggle, turning it into some creation, and you ain't teaching, you ain't learning, you really ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? You could be I don't care how much money you got. You know what I mean? If you ain't giving back and you ain't being creative on teaching people how to gain it and how to get it, you feel me, and do the same thing you're doing, then your story is just useless.
Period.
You feel me? So yeah, that's a fact. You know what I mean?
I like
that. And I don't score keep, I don't hold grudges, and I just keep it moving. You feel me? And I know Jackson Embroidery, I want it for Jackson. I could have named it my last name.
Yep.
I'm not from Jackson.
Yep.
I named it Jackson Embroidery because I want to take Jackson out of the prison mindset.
I like that.
When I come here, everybody be like, why you Jackson, a prison state. You in Jackson.
Yep.
Prison Jackson.
Yep.
Jackson. And I'm like, well, shit, we got Jackson Embroidery here now.
Yeah. There's so much more than just the prison.
It's just
so much more.
You feel me? And that's why it's Jack. It could be Gordon's embroidery. That's my last name. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? It could have been something totally different from that.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I choose Jackson because I want Jackson to have something, a place, a comfort place. You know, they might not see it now. We only been open, a few years now. But 20 years from now, Jackson Embroidery is still around.
It'll be a staple.
You know what I mean? People would know, like, yeah. And then they know the history behind it. Yep. And then that bring, for the people that been here, that's more of a personal and a connection. Yep. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not here.
Dude, that's why I gravitate to people, whatever you want to say, and then I stick with them. You will always be my shirt guy. Period. Period. It's just like, all right, now that's what it is. There's nothing else to it. Red, just all my stickers. Yeah. You will always be my sticker guy. There's not another person. Yes. I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier, a sense of community, the way we treat our community. It's like people will look for a cheaper buck by going to Amazon instead of just, like, now me supporting you. You have supported me in so many other ways. It's like, that's what it's about. If I went to Amazon, they would never support me back. They don't even know. They don't care.
They don't care.
Exactly.
You know, and I have to wrap it up. What I'm gonna say is, if y'all thinking because y'all going to these other companies overseas or Amazon overseas, Pakistan, majority of my customers come to me because they went to them places and they messed up something. So then they come to me and I literally correct it. And then they be like, oh man, we locked in.
I should have went to you in the first place.
You should have just went to me. But I let people take the chances and the risks. Yeah. I'm not finna argue. I'm not finna, you do that. Yeah, oh, I got this for that amount. Well, I'm not, they sweatshops, bro. They finna, you know what I mean? They just getting it out. You feel me? Good. Now, you know, when y'all come to me, y'all here, y'all monitor y'all things, y'all communicate with me. The communication is on the same level, English for the most part, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then we here, you know what I mean? It ain't like y'all can't pull up on me in production.
Dude, and your work speaks for itself, period. Yeah. Like some people with that doing shirts, not like, I mean, just this, for example, it's like you can tell it's stuck on top. Now, mine, this was just a cheap shirt. Like, I wouldn't get this made. I just bought it. Right. But you can feel it's cheap on top. Right. It's like, this came from an actual, like, store. Yours, you can't feel it. It's like almost in the fabric, which it isn't, but it's like, you do such a good job, dude. Yeah, it's like,
it's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. Yeah. I've just learned probably 999
ways not to. I get you. Dude, great. So our wrap-up questions are all the same between every guest. Okay. It's how we keep I keep everybody kind of related.
Right, for sure.
So what is your definition of success?
My definition of success is so there's no measure on success. Period. Success is what you perceive to be comfortable with. I've been successful today because I made $150. I thought my goal was 130. I made 150. I was successful. Yep. You know what I mean? So successful is measured by the individual. Yes, you know what I mean? So it's not what I perceive to be success to be. It's not a whole group. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Success is measured by the individual. Right now, my success is measured day by day. That's not measured as a whole. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. So as long as I make a profit that day, as long as I've done something positive, I am successful.
Perfect. So. Yeah. No, I get you, dude. Right. If you had one word to sum up your whole journey, just one word, what would it be?
Oh man, that's a good one. One word: mystery.
Okay.
It will be mystery. No, you know what? I think it would have to be a between two. Okay. Mystery and what you just said, journey.
Journey, right on.
Because a mystery, I come with a lot of twists and turns. Mm-hmm. If you know me as a friend, I come with you be like, oh my God, you feel me? But one word, truthfully, to sum up everything about my life is journey. Okay. And because it's just what it is, you know what I mean? But journey comes with so many things you finna learn. You finna be able to experience, and you finna, you know what I mean, produce, and you know, that's the journey guy. You were gonna be on a journey. You're gonna be on an adventure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So is something that probably was something about. Shit, it might be 3 now. Keep going.
So then the last question I have before I cut the camera, and then I'll ask you to sign the table after we go off the air.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have? Is there anything when I invited you on, you're like, you know what, I want to say that, and I didn't give you the opportunity?
Yeah, man.
Perfect.
Aliens.
Okay.
No facts.
All right.
You know what I mean? Just like, you know, like what I think. Free thinking, you know what I mean? Aliens thinking outside the box.
Yep.
And because stuff like that is what people don't understand. People think flat earth. You know what I mean? I'm one of them guys. You can't argue me about flat earth. Mm-hmm. You can't argue me about aliens. Yep. And people are so close-minded, and that's what separates me from a lot of people. Yep. Because I am adamant. I for sure will argue you to death about flat earth and aliens. Okay. Because I in my heart know it exists. You know what I mean? So fuck yeah, I wish we could have had this man about that. You know what I mean?
Hey, well, let's do another episode one day. I would love to, instead of doing a story, I wanted to do something like that.
Man, listen, bro, we need to. You feel right, extraterrestrials, astral projection. You know what I mean? That's because, you know, and the thing about that is, because, like I said, school haven't taught us these things. No. And today we're learning all these things off the internet. You know what I mean? And it's sending people into a haywire everywhere. But even if it ain't true, I believe it's 1,000% true.
I do too.
Even if it ain't true, it helps people be creative and think outside the box.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Come on. Who made the pyramid?
It makes people think. I get it.
It makes people think it gotta be aliens, because how we gonna, if it ain't an alien, then guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to figure out how to create it. That's what science is about, recreating. So I'm gonna tap into my science ideology or whatever and try to recreate the pyramid. And if I could recreate it, then I could prove that aliens didn't do it.
If an alien did it, if an alien didn't do it, that means we could do it.
We could do it.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Right on.
So that's really my origin. That's what makes me up for real. Right? You know what I mean? So I really like to look into stuff like that.
Awesome.
None into politics and none of that.
Gotcha.
Somewhat, but it's not really.
I'm not either, honestly, and yet I find myself interviewing a lot of politicians. So
the thing about that is, it's learning. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not into. I talk to a bunch of them. You know what I mean? But I just, it's a fun learning experience. Yeah, I might need it one day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, you know, I tell people right now, I knew Mike McGee. I ran with Mike McGee in Wisconsin. He was the alderman in the 6th district in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right on. I ran with him. I did a lot of his work for him. It's like his footwork and stuff like that. And I learned a lot of stuff from him. Okay. I was on a radio station because of him. From Rapid, I went to the city hall, spoke about why this money is being built on the east side is going to kick people out of the east side. And stuff like that, you know what I mean? But he had his own underlying agendas that got him to where he was at. Now he's not in office, and he actually in the feds, or probably out by now. But he had his own agenda, but he used me, which is cool because I learned something from him.
Well, dude, and that's what people get on me about this, but I'm just going to say it. A friendship is transactional, in my opinion. Not in just money for money, but like 1,000%. I found something I want to be like you in regards to. You're an entrepreneur. So you have something that I want. You did something that I have yet to do. I want to learn from you. Whatever that you get from me, but that's why we're friends. There is some sort of a transaction to it.
The key is, to wrap this all up, I guess, the key is everybody meant to be used, just not misused.
Period.
operate with people you could use them.
Exactly.
If I can't use you, what the heck we need to do any business?
We don't need to be friends. We don't need to be nothing. Yeah.
You know, what do you offer that I could use?
Yep.
What do I offer that you can use?
Yes, sir.
So now then it comes where it's misuse.
Yep.
So a lot of people with these certain mindsets coming in the game of automatically misusing the person.
Exactly.
Which ain't cool.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So if we can use each other, hey, you can build my bike, I can build your plane.
Exactly.
I can teach you how to get the pieces, the parts, then we join like that. You know what I mean? So
yes, sir.
until people understand the difference of the two, we'll always be at a head to head, or you getting over or I'm getting over the situation.
Exactly.
Right.
Awesome. Dude, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Awesome, man. I'm gonna cut this. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
And give me 1 second. I'll ask